All right, let's get back to Blake Phaeton. Losing friends left and right today for real. Raphael Shimonov responds, isn't this you calling for this war? And isn't that you citing Amalek, which is a call for genocide? All Zoran did was say equal rights, and now you're cry-bullying in a shelter of your own making. Yeah. Destroy Amalek, Blake said on 10/8/2023. I don't know why leaders of Islamic Republic of Iran are still breathing. Open Presence, thank you for the 50 bones. Hell yeah. Hasan PBS, thank you for the 10. Gifted. Everything is Amalek for Israel's enemies. Great stuff. Do you think Trump will start a war with Iran? Is it a realistic option for Iran to release all the Mossad blackmailing files? I think Iran should be doing a lot more than it's doing. I'm not going to say what, okay? But yes, I think they should release every single piece of intel that they fucking hacked instantly. As quickly as possible. Do it for us.
Includes the intelligence chief of Iran's Revolutionary Guard,
Mohammed
Kazemi. Iran's president says more strikes will be met with more retaliation.
Israel knows no boundaries. They intrude wherever they want, with permission from America. In a conversation that U.S. envoy Steve Witkoff had with our foreign minister, he said that Israel cannot do anything without our permission, meaning these recent strikes is also carried out with America's permission.
The fighting between longtime foes is fueling fears, but many in Iran support the government's retaliation.
They used to call us terrorists. So what? Now even America and Britain should fear us. Let them be scared.
We are not really scared. We are more worried for our children. We belong to a generation of war. We are not scared of such incidents.
With no signs of de-escalation, roads have been clogged, with many people driving out of Tehran. There's also long queues at petrol stations amid growing concerns of oil shortages and price hikes.
People are worried, and most of the petrol stations are crowded because people are planning to get out of the city.
Many are bracing for more attacks. Government officials say metro stations will be open 24 hours a day to be used as shelters.
You know you fucking suck when you've lost the most racist man on earth.
Good evening. Israel's running out of friends, isn't it? But when you get... Okay.
What the fuck? Nigel Farage? What is happening? I don't feel too good. 2.5 magnitude earthquake near Fordow nuclear site? Wait. They actually struck Fordow? 2.5 magnitude earthquake. Holy shit. Reports of a 2.5 magnitude earthquake near Fordow nuclear facility in Iran. Wait, does that mean it's a nuclear test? Or does that mean that they actually struck Fordow? Because it could be an American, it could be either. 2.5 magnitude earthquake insinuates they're doing nuclear tests, not the Israeli strike. Earthquake or nuclear test in Iran, experts weigh in. This is from October 9th, 2024. Like they do underground tests for nuclear capabilities. This happened before. And it tracks, it reads as an earthquake. Maybe they reached nuke on the tech tree. Drop site. These are heroes being praised. They raided the cells of Palestinians detained who allegedly. Israeli forces raided the cells of Palestinian captives after some allegedly expressed joy during the rocket fire on Israel. Part of Minister Ben Gvir's policy of punishing any sort of Palestinian resistance or joy. Like, dude, I cannot think of anything more fucking cowardly and more depraved than beating on an already captive population that you have also literally imprisoned. Like, what a giant crock of shit this is. They released this footage, which is how you know they are celebrating it. Like they released this footage because they are proud of this footage. They released this footage because they, like, the Israeli society looks at this and goes, hell yeah, that's sick. Thank you for doing this. Incredible stuff, man. What is this? Israeli suppression units assaulted Palestinian detainees yesterday across several prisons after they expressed joy over Iran's strike on Israel. Even joy is punished behind bars. Like, dude, if you're Palestinian, it's alarming if you're not fucking for once thinking like, oh, this is fantastic. Like, for once, Israel gets to experience what it's been doing to us. Like, what are we doing here? New missiles incoming to Tel Aviv. They've been saying that. I don't know if it's actually happening or not. Like, they're literally they're literally experiencing a fraction. Israel is experiencing a fraction of the unimaginable cruelty that it is dished out to every single country in the fucking region. And for once, a country has the capabilities of pushing back. And even then, it is a fraction. That pushback is still all but a fraction of the violence that Israel has dished out with impunity. And these guys are not even allowed to fucking celebrate it. I made more women drone piles. I'm glad you like it. I actually got permanently demonetized from YouTube for supporting Palestine. I was accused of supporting violent extremist organizations. Myself and like 10 other creators that I know all got permanently demonetized on October 7th, 2024. Any advice on fighting this? I have no idea, but that was a great, that was a banger. Hasanabi just hates Jews. Incredible assessment from this chatter. Show chat what small dot Israel's on the map. What the fuck? Where are you at? I think Jason is here. Doors open. Oh fuck, hold up. 1 second, let me fix this real quick. Hold on 1 second. We're gonna. All right, you can film me here if you want. It's fine. Well, yeah, you can film me here. Yeah.
Yo, it's good. Hasanabi heads. You know, I was given a task.
Wait, hold on. Let me open up the. I think the third mic is. It's got no.
Looking a little more shriveled and smaller. It's been a while.
Yeah.
You like more like gray. There's more gray in your beard. Your shoes. Oh, all right,
I'm fucking injured, bro. What'd you get me?
I got you right. That's what I got you. Come on, man. You know I got you.
Okay. 2 sleeves. I gave you money for it.
Did you?
Yeah,
You didn't have to.
I sent you Apple Cash.
You didn't have to, man. Listen. Now we gotta take one together.
What do you mean? Let's in?
Yeah.
Wait, really?
Now we gotta take one together.
Here.
How do I do this? How do I do this? What is this?
W nephew.
Yeah.
Wait, you shouldn't do a 6 milligram. You should do a 3.
What is this?
Here, put it back in there. I'll give you a 3.
What does this do to you though? Like,
Fuck you up.
like I'm gonna feel it. The nicotine buzz.
This is nicotine.
I've never done this.
You've
Actually,
never done it?
I've done it one time, but like, is it quick? Because I need to be able to function.
Are you wearing the pants that we got together?
Come on, you know I have
Oh,
to.
you got the chrome on?
Yes, my chat picked it.
But it's not even in the. It's not even on your belt buckle.
Ah, fuck! I took a piss. I didn't put it in the buckle.
That's
Good call out.
crazy.
Good call out. But yeah.
3 milligram.
I won't get. It's not TOS. This is legal.
It is
Grown
legal.
ass man.
It is legal. Is it? It's legal, right, chat?
I'm literally
Bad influence? What the hell?
scared. Do I do this or not, chat? Do it or skip?
He's 21. He was
I'm
allowed.
21. What?
Yeah.
Chat, hey, Hasan, chat, don't treat me like a little kid. I'm really grown.
He's grown. He's a grown ass man now. He can make his own decisions.
Am I gonna vomit though?
No. You just put it in the upper lip. Just pack it in your upper lip.
No, I don't want to do it. I'm pussy.
All right.
My bad.
Why do you have an X on your hand?
Because I was at a club.
You were at a
I
club?
didn't have ID, so
They just marked you?
they just marked me.
Okay, nephew's still good. That was a test. You passed.
They're voting.
No. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Whoa, that's sick. How do you do the overlay? Nice. God damn, I need that.
Wait, now I gotta do it.
Yeah. No. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't fall into the whims of your audience.
Okay, well, I'll let you get back to your thing, man. Just wanted to get your fingers.
Thank you. Here. Dab it up here.
Oh my God,
I can't walk, bro. I have a thing in my.
what happened?
I went up for a shot. The dude put his foot under me.
Jesus.
Classic. It's a classic flagrant foul.
You're really getting up there, man.
Not okay, bro. That could happen to you too. What do you
Yeah.
mean?
I mean, it's just the way you're like hunched over. Like, hey, good to see you.
This fucking guy. All right.
Can I play with Kaya before I leave?
Yeah, do whatever you want. I mean, wait, hold on.
What can I like?
No, it's fine to show stuff in here. I just want to hide the address because there's packages.
I can stand right here.
There's packages here, so I'm just trying to make sure that there's no addresses being shown. Oh yeah, if you cover from this angle.
I'll go here.
Yeah. Look at that. She's already ready to be pet. Jason is petting Kaya in the other room. Those pants ain't it, bro. You gotta upgrade the Sesh Plus or Nick S pouches in his garbage in comparison trust. Yeah, he was doing, I think Jason was doing drugs with Cutie yesterday, right? Yeah. Bad influence. Look at this.
I know, I swear it's a mistake. It was brand new. Oh! Let's go! No! No way! What the fuck? Nah.
auntie. W-Unk didn't let him get corrupted. W-Unk didn't let him get corrupted. L auntie did. Remember that. She did not inhale? What do you mean? What is she, Bill Clinton? You should give Jason stuff to do. She's 120 pounds, I think. She might be heavier than you, dude. Make him do a blinker? I don't have blinkers. What is going on in my house right now, bro? This is fucking madness. Tell Jason to go fight for. Okay, guys, I'm not doing politics with Jason. All right, calm down. Here, you want to see what he's up to? I'll show you his stream. You will not be able to take care of a dog, brother.
Who's a good girl? Nah, I might need to get a dog.
You will not be able to take care of a dog, brother. You can't take her a walk out here because it's then you'll film the neighborhood. You can go out back and play with her out back if you want in the backyard. Just don't show the streets or anything. My mom is cooking back there. Jason pushing you around in a wheelchair at a protest would be good content. We get fucking destroyed. We get shot at. Hold on.
Huh, Abby has in here.
I didn't realize I muted it. Hold
She
on.
don't want you. She tired of you. Cooking with Kaya. Cooking with Kaya. Cooking with Kaya. Kaya, roll over. Kaya, Kaya, roll over. Wait, does she not know how to? Why are y'all saying sad? She's happy. Tap your chest and say up. Kaya. Kaya up. Kaya up. It's not working.
She's looking over here. That's why I'm here. You wanted treats. And I told my mom to bring one of her toys.
Kaya, up. Does she know how to do that?
Yeah, like this. Like, Kaya, sit. Hey. Oh, you are so fat. Hey, Kaya. Kaya, up. Kaya.
Kaya, look, Kaya.
No. She's the opposite. Without treats, she's better. She listens to me better without the treats. When I have the treats, she doesn't. Up. Kaya. Up. Good girl. Okay.
Okay.
Sit. Here, she can do this. Look. Down. Roll over. Roll over. Good girl.
Is she a guard dog too?
Yeah.
Like, if someone were to pull up. Whoa.
Look at her. Look at her mouth watering.
She's salivating.
She's so fat. She's the fattest dog.
Who's a fat girl? Who's a fat girl?
Fat girl. Here. Don't give her all of it, but.
Hey. All right, ready? Wait, hold this.
You can make her do the other stuff too.
Up. Kaya, up. Kaya, up. No. Kaya, up. Kaya, come here. Kaya, up. Kaya. Am I? Kaya, sit. Kaya, sit. Kaya, up. Kaya, I'm muted. Kaya, up. Kaya, lay. Kaya, lay down.
Bro, you gotta be clear and concise with your commands, okay?
I said up.
Hey, down. Like one only. And then if you want to release, you go, okay, Kaya, okay. And then here. You can play tug of war with her
I
if
bet.
you want. Yeah. And you can get her to chase it too if you want.
Wait. I want to do the up.
So let's drop it.
Drop.
Oh, well, you already
Oh wait, yeah, I took it out. Wait, Kaya. Listen to me, Kaya, sit. Kaya, sit down.
Wow, that's your cop voice.
Kaya, up.
I don't think she does it with other people.
Really?
Usually, yeah, because I don't want her to do that to random people.
Kaya, lay.
Down like
Down.
this.
Roll over.
Watch out. She can deliver big blows with her paws even when she's like playing, so don't get concussed or nothing.
Is a snack? I'll get her a snack. Is this edible for humans?
Maybe. Oh, she's so fat. Fiona, go. Fiona, out. Fiona, out. No? Okay.
Does she-
My brother's dog doesn't listen.
Does she catch?
No. I've never been able to do that. Oh, she's got
Oh
bubbles in her
my.
mouth. How much she's...
Who's a fatty patty? Oh, you a little fatty patty.
What are you doing then? She's going to try to get it from your hand.
We're about to have a vote to try the dog shit or not.
What the fuck?
Yeah, you're good. You'll be fine. All right, I got to go back to my tree.
Okay. Thank you, Hasan. Eat dog treat, don't eat. Yo, whoa, really, bro?
You got dog salad all over your neck.
Oh my. Bruh. Bro, that's disgusting. Here, cheers, Kaya.
Fuck, I can't even walk.
This is disgusting, bro.
How do I
This is
vote?
fucking disgusting.
How do I vote?
Eat.
I missed it. Where's he putting that? That's crazy. Oh, he spat in my backyard. Oh my god.
Yo, what the fuck, bruh? That was disgusting. That does not taste good. How do dogs like that, man?
Shut the fuck up,
El ego, wasting food.
That's true.
Bro, ew. How do dogs eat that? How do you eat that? El guest. What do you mean El guest? I put it in the dirt. Oh my god.
She just wants to go back in. Yeah, it's probably hot.
She's such a cutie though. Oh my god. It's in my teeth. I can literally taste it.
Who is this chud? What do you mean? This is my nephew.
Bro, I got 3 hearts, bro. I need something.
Wait, do I need to give him more
Kaya?
stuff to do?
Kaya, do you like me? Kaya, will you listen to me? Kaya, listen. Kaya, listen to me. Kaya.
Well,
Kaya. Kaya.
The problem is, oh yeah, he's got other tasks. Okay, car wash, get rug water. I can't do chatters. This is yet another fucking instance where you don't know what's good for you. I need to keep doing my news coverage. Okay? And I feel bad making him, I'm not going to make him sit through fucking Iran-Israel shit and then invite a bunch of negative attention to him, you know? I know it's Sunday, but
Kaya, shake my hand if you will go to prom with me.
but we got to get back to the news, you know what I'm saying?
Unfortunately, I already have a date. I baited you. My fault, man.
Give him arbitrary attacks that are fun and pointless. That's his goal.
You want back in? You want back in? You want back? All right, bet.
Who is this random child you're keeping in your backyard, forcing you to babysit your dog? It's my nephew.
Rug or car wash, chat?
It's my nephew, Jason the Ween. That's who it is.
All right, let's get out of here, man. Mission accomplished. Damn, I think it's because Hasan was like, stay, and now she's staying.
What happened? All right. There's no light in the bathroom. I was watching. Make him clean your house. I'm not going to do that. Make the sim watch Joe Rogan against their will for 2 hours. We're not going to do that. Do they not take off their shoes? I don't anymore because I have a dog. And a dog's position automatically is not taking their shoes off. When you have a dog, it's like a little crazy. He's done. His tasks are completed. What's he looking at back there? Okay, don't look through some of the private stuff. Just making sure you're gonna accidentally find something in there that I'm monitoring his activities. The Fab Top? No, that's upstairs. That's in my bedroom. You guys can see the Fear and podcast studio. It could be like a family calendar or something. That's why. Yeah, you can show the podcast room. I don't know how to turn the lights on though. The lights have getting insights into the $60 million LA mansion.
Holy shit, I was here before. I don't know how to turn on the lights.
I thought this was a mansion. It's a tiny house. You guys, yes, there's a reason why every single person that's come to my house has been shocked at how normal sized it is.
This is crazy.
It's because it's not like a ginormous house at all. It's a very normal sized house. It's just LA. That's why it's so fucking expensive.
I wonder how many rooms it is. But this is probably $1 million house. Shit is, yeah, it is. Like in Texas, this shit will probably be like 200, 300. All right, chat. 94.
Talking shit about my house price.
All right, yo, I'm gonna go to clips. Well, just go to clips real quick.
Yeah. Take whatever you want. All right. Thank you, Jason. I'm sorry that I didn't give you more. I feel it's just like a not the most opportune time. Normally I'd be like fine, but this is, there's a lot of, well, I'm crippled, and also on top of that, there's a lot going on in the world news wise, and I don't want to put you through that. So, all right. They can't see you. You want to come in here? Here.
Oh, Hasan Abi heads, I'm out.
Let me get a W nephew in the chat. W Unks in the chat.
Peace, Unc.
Bye, guys. What'd you say? How is he a relative? He's Asian? What do you mean? First of all, I'm his uncle. He's my nephew. But that's besides the point. I also do literally have Chinese relatives. He's not Chinese. He's Vietnamese. I'm also white Chinese. Wait, I'm willing to bet they don't know how to get out. I gotta tell them how to get out, probably. Or nope, they figured it out. Good job. Bro, random, but what is that can drink? It's a Diet Dr. Pepper, 0 sugar. Trump update. As President Trump exited the White House to travel to Canada for a Group 7 summit, he said he wanted Israel and Iran to strike a deal. Sometimes they have to fight it out, Trump told reporters as he left for Marine One. We'll see what happens. What? It's not BDS, man. The fuck? The Iranian military will bomb Israel tonight. New military tech and not just IRGC tech. One of the craziest aspects of like modern existence and being able to see everything in real time is this idea that we get to follow global. Yes, he said it's on BDS a while ago. Why would you ever get your nose from Ethan on what fucking is a part of the official BDS list? Anyway. One of the wildest things is like, we're looking at like new album releases. we're basically we're like, yo, they're about to unveil a new weapon you haven't seen before. Beep, 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 beep. The deputy secretary of the Israeli Communist Party has been arrested. Wait, what? What is this? The I-24 is reporting that the IDF is striking launchers. So what's actually happening now? The IDF detected that Iran is planning to launch missiles. An alert was issued to stay near or protect the space. Meanwhile, the IDF is attacking the launchers, and more than 40 minutes since the alert, Iran has not yet managed the launch. Oh, so that probably took place where they like effectively stamped it out. Fix chat box on screen, please. What do you mean? Isn't the Israeli Communist Party an oxymoron? No, there are real anti-Zionists in Israel as well. I've interviewed them. The full screen cam chat box? Oh, this. You're not even fucking seeing it. Who cares? Can you move chat back to its normal space? My autism is going crazy. Okay. All right, let's get back into it. So, there was some more I wanted to cover with the back and forth that's taken place. Dropsite is not mixing words when he says the EU Commission's racist president Ursula von der Leyen says she spoke with Netanyahu and reaffirmed EU support for Israel. I underline that Israel has the right to defend itself. Iran is the main source of regional instability, she said. I'm sorry. Who fucking believes this? Like, you have to deny your own eyes. You have to deny the reality that everyone can see in order to believe such a ridiculous statement. Iran is not the fucking greatest source of regional instability. America and Israel and all of the Western world is the greatest source of regional instability. In Gaza, even as civilians have been slaughtered en masse for more than 20 months, von der Leyen has expressed unwavering support for Israel's right to defend itself, backing its military campaign with almost no regard for Palestinian lives or calls to protect them. My 60-year-old SPD dad believes that. Really? Well, what did Iran look like in the 70s? Yeah, dude. You're right. They should go back to the Shah. Good take, man. Thank you. Like, Europeans and Americans are so fucking stupid where they go, oh, Iran would be much better served under a Western-backed puppet leadership that is a fucking monarchy. Because I saw a bunch of clips. Bring back, the Savak. It's just like, you're a fucking moron. You saw a couple clips. Why do you think there was a tremendous amount of popular resistance against the fucking monarchy? Why do you think the Iranian Revolution even happened? Please think. You use the same logic for why they're doing better. You saw a few clips. Wait, you think my analysis on this stems from a fucking few clips that I saw? Do you think there are clips that show that the current Iranian governance is good? Have I ever said that it is good? I don't believe it. I can't believe how easily duped these fucking dumb fucks are. If you want to roll back time, you don't roll back time to the Shah. You roll back to a time. Yes, there are clips for both sides. I'm not operating off of clips, you fucking baboon. You are. But you're so stupid that you think I also saw a couple clips. And that's why that's what's driving my analysis and not reading. Bro, all leftists sided with Khomeini over the Shah. That's how totalitarian the Shah was. That was until Khomeini killed all the leftists for siding with the Ba'athist socialist Iraq in the Iran-Iraq war, but that was another story. Yeah, it's just so... I can't believe I'm having this fucking idiotic conversation right now. Clip Watcher 65 has some opinions. Unironically, though, Western Europeans are so brain-fucked that they see that they think the Shah will be good and not advocating for him to come back because they met diaspora Shahs, Iranians, and because they have the propaganda of Western Europeans over 40 are crazy. As I was stating, Iran had a democratic movement. This was seen as a bridge too far. If you want to roll back time, roll it back to a time where there was a robust, popular, left-wing, socialist, social democratic movement in Iran. But that was a bridge too far for Western superpowers that did not want a major regional power to align itself with the USSR. So they intervened. They created mass instability and they put the Shah in power. That's it. And they've done similar things in every fucking country since. They've done it all around the world. The United States of America has done this all around the world. So I walked through my dad in jail so many times just for doing wrestling matches with communists. It's such a stupid fucking perspective to have. First of all, who the fuck are you to be like, this is what other countries should do? Like, who the fuck do you think you are? Yeah, Mossadegh had no connections to USSR either. I'm just saying that that was an unreasonable fear that they had. That is the primary role that Israel played as well. And for the record, early funders of the Iranian Revolution, ironically enough, were also Western powers that did not want Mossadegh either. And even throughout the process, I think there was a point in time when the Shah was also positioning himself against Israel as well to a certain degree. And the appetite for more destabilization of Iran caused people to also initially back the Iranian Revolution too. Yeah. Here is that fucking woke-ass Shah, by the way.
Your Majesty. In a man's life, women count only if they are beautiful.
I mean, he's a fucking monarch. Like, what are we talking about? Does that not shock people at all? Like, that Western liberals are like, oh, dude, we should do the monarchy in Iran. And that they have no smoke whatsoever and no animosity towards other monarch structures. Wait, why are you guys saying big F? I don't have a F. I'm not experiencing F at all. I'm not seeing it on my end. Like, Western liberalism is such a stupid, contradictory way of living life, where on the one hand, you're like, oh, you know what's better, actually? We're liberals. You know what's better? A fucking monarch. You know who are also some of our best allies in the region? Monarchs, where women are also mistreated. Under the, like, what do you think? Where do you think women have more freedom? Iran or fucking Saudi Arabia?
Graceful and know how to stay feminine. You may be equal in the eyes of the law, but not in ability. You have never produced a Michelangelo or a Bach or even a great cook. You are schemers, you are evil, all of you. Oh, Your Majesty, you said all these things.
Not with the same words, no.
Well, the thought, you've never produced a Michelangelo, a Bach, or even a great
This I
cook.
have said.
So you don't feel that women are, in that sense, equal, that they have the same intelligence or ability?
Not so far, maybe you will become in the future. You can always have some exceptions.
Here and there.
But yes, but on the average.
Yeah, Israel genocide in Gaza, UAE genocide in Sudan, also contributing to Israel's actions in Gaza. Saudi Arabia genocide in Yemen, also Saudi Arabia, again, a defender of Israel in the region, so a contributor to the genocide in Gaza as well. Iran, no genocide, yet Iran is the biggest evil. This isn't to say that like the domestic policies are fucking fantastic in Iran currently. They're not. And it is very clearly developed a lot of resentment amongst the youth in Iran as well. But if you're stupid enough to look at the situation in a place like Iran especially, which is far more diverse, far closer to your understanding of like a Western cosmopolitan nation, and with cities that have stood the test of time, as opposed to your fucking Orientalist framework when you deal with all Arab countries. Like Iran has a lot of incredibly educated people, many of them that don't like the fucking current administration. It's so stupid. This is what I'm talking about when I say like, I mean, yeah, Saudi Arabia at 9/11, that's another one. The average Westerner doesn't even know that Iran has internet. P.S. I live in the east of Tehran. No, it's fucked up. I didn't realize Iranians had access to Reddit. I feel like an idiot, and I don't know where I got that idea. I hope you are safe, and whatever is happening is not the start of something terrible. They also have Steam. Been playing with an Iranian dad for the past 2 years. I hope he's safe. Like there are, dude, this is how fucking... This makes me so fucking mad. This makes me so mad because, like, we here in the Western world think we are fucking above it all. We're like the most intelligent. We are the peak of technological superiority, the defenders of liberty across the fucking planet. Okay? Meanwhile, the average American or the average Westerner doesn't even realize that when they're online, they're simultaneously broadcasting to a fuck ton of people in Iran as well. Like they literally think that dudes are living in like huts. Like there are Twitch streamers on this website right now that are broadcasting from Iran in real time. You know that, right? I'm an Iranian living in Tehran. I don't like my government that much, but at least they don't want to kill me with a missile. I also think the average Westerner thinks the same of Israel. No, they don't. Because Israel is seen as like a continuation of like Ashkenazi Jews that they see in the Western world. So they don't think that at all about Israel. Israel also has a tremendous amount of fucking propaganda tools in the Western world to like basically be like, we are the only moral democracy in the region. We're the only moral nation in the region. We're the only democracy in the region. That's the reason why they make that's the reason why they do that kind of fucking propaganda. Yeah, Israel has been doing Eurocentric propaganda about themselves for 60 plus years. Yeah, there was a clip of on Twitch of an airstrike going off in Tehran near a streamer's home. I know. We watched it. There are well-known divisions and cleavages in Iranian society. If Israel had limited itself to hitting nuclear sites, military bases, regime officials solely, they may have been able to navigate these divisions in a constructive manner. Also, what the fuck is... I mean, I don't even agree with this. Like, I don't think this is appropriate either. Anyway, maybe he's not making a value judgment here. Instead, from the first day, they decided to carry out massive attacks against civilians in urban areas, including central parts of Tehran. They carried these out evidently not caring greatly if they killed their targets, their families, or random neighbors or passersby in the process. Accordingly, hundreds of people are already dead and many more wounded who had nothing to do with this situation and will be marked for life by these brazen actions. Israel thinks it can do October 7s to every country in the fucking region and totally get away with it without any sort of enmity whatsoever. Israeli officials, meanwhile, are boasting about burning the capital city of Iran with no sense of awareness of how Iranians and others may perceive that. They appear to be quite proud of specifically bombing famous areas of Tehran and making them look the way that they have made Gaza City appear. This is sick and irrational behavior that doesn't even comport with any identifiable political logic. It is rapidly earning them the undying hatred of a population that had previously been of mixed opinion or even more polarized against their own government. Israel has only one mode at this point, which is eradication and supremacy. I highly doubt it's possible to live in a region with such a country indefinitely or with people who are this far gone, perceiving how their own actions are viewed by others. The lesson every other capable state should draw is to discard any prior notion of compromise and achieve the maximum deterrence possible at all costs. No less, it would have been necessary to contain and roll back Nazi Germany, Imperial Japan, or any other of the radical genocidal states the world had been cursed to contend with in the past century. That is exactly what is going on. Okay? Israel is 100% a fucking Nazi country. Okay? I'm sorry. You can get mad and say, oh, this is anti-Semitism. But it is. They are behaving in the exact same fucking ways that the Nazis behaved as well. Israel's Farsi account quoting Minister of Defense, the fate of Tehran will be like Beirut's. Iranian monarchists don't talk nonsense. From war with the regime you got to destroying the country, didn't we support you enough? Why are you attacking civilian infrastructure? This is the Iranian monarchists tweeting at, in Farsi, tweeting at the Farsi Israel propaganda tweet account, being like, what are you doing? Please stop bombing us that hard. Don't bomb us that hard. Breaking Israel planning a Dahiya-style assault on Tehran. Oh. Canada and UK statement does not mention Gaza or Iran. We're keeping our war options open too, evidently. The reason why they're doing that is because America's signaling that they're going to go into this. They're going to go into this and fight alongside Israel to completely destroy Iran. That is where we're going. That is where we're headed. I've been telling you this for since Israel, since the nuclear denuclearization agreements started, telling you that like this is mostly going to be this is Israel's final goal. This is what Israel's final goal has always been. This is the big prize. They've been fantasizing about this moment, and America's been fantasizing about this moment for quite a while. Anyway, here. Let's watch the way while Israel is banging the war drums. Okay. Oh wait, hold on. Another note from Iranian Society from Iranian Seamus Malakafzali. There is undeniably a current of Iranians, especially younger ones, that have a hatred of Palestinians and are purely reactionary in their support for the West. This, however, does not automatically lead to a popular uprising when they start getting bombed unprovoked by Israel. The accusation of the Islamic Republic's adventurism having brought this war is ludicrous. Israel describes its attacks as preemptive. Iran itself didn't do an October 7th style attack on Israel. The Israeli jets arrived in Tehran first. That's it. That's it. That's the whole point. Even the most secular forces in the country that fucking despise, even monarchists that fucking despise the current administration and want to be lapdogs of the West, are not going to entertain the notion of having their fucking multiple thousand-year empire and all of its culture get destroyed in the hands of American rockets being directed by Israeli Air Force pilots. That's fucking insane. Who would want that? Who would say yes to that? Only people living here that act as though they are the spokesperson for the resistance in Iran would say those things, would entertain those idiotic notions, just like the Cubans here in America constantly salivate at the prospect of blowing up Cuba. If you get your notes from them, you are going to be oblivious to what's happening on the ground. For internal policy purposes, for domestic purposes, the Iranian government has presented itself as incredibly fucking restrained, looking at a denuclearization agreement that is the exact opposite of adventurism. Okay? You could have made the same statement about its involvement in Syria or its development of the axis of resistance against Israel. Now, all of those things, looking at it from the rearview mirror, probably come across as brilliant strategic moves that were to cripple and undermine Israeli position in the region. Do you understand?
At the end of the day, it's that of Ali Khamenei. It is his war.
Yeah, this is Reza Pahlavi, son of the former Shah of Iran, says he doesn't believe it was the intention of the Israeli government to attack Iranian civilians. Sick, man.
Iranian people's war. So ultimately, anything that weakens the regime, anything that pushes more to its back, is something that people welcome for obvious reasons, because they see that strangulation that holds them in that position beginning to loosen on their necks. This is something positive and not negative.
Are you actually saying then that Israel bombing your country, civilians in Iran being killed, is a positive thing?
I'm not saying that the targeting was meant to hurt the Iranian people. The targeting was meant to basically
He's a dog.
Neutralize the regime threat. Clearly, I don't think that it was an intention of the Israeli government to attack Iranian civilians.
What do you think then will happen next to the regime? You say people have been in the streets calling for them to be overturned. What will happen next?
But as I said, I think as a result of the regime being decapitated and weakened more than ever, it's an opportunity for the Iranian people to finally...
This is the son of the Shah, Reza Pahlavi.
...liberate themselves, provided, of course, that this time the world doesn't sit idle and demonstrate vividly that beyond just imposing sanctions or what have you, they're prepared to take the next step of giving the Iranian people a sense of support for their fight for...
I told people this at least a year ago, and they thought there was no way. Great estimation on your part. This is at the heart of my analysis of countries in the region, countries in the Middle East. I mean, it's partially from it partially stems from the anecdotal, like, firsthand accounts, firsthand experiences that I have.
For democracy.
Is Iran good or not? Iran is just a country, man. Good or not is not a thing, okay? Like, what do you mean? Everybody wants like a Marvel Cinematic Universe style fucking assessment here. Israel says at least 15 people have been injured. What is this?
President Masoud Pezeshkian says the country is acting in self-defense and will de-escalate as soon as Israel stops its airstrikes. Katia Lopez-Hodoyan reports.
Another round of Israeli strikes hit Iran. In and around the capital, Tehran, Israeli targets seem to be expanding. Among them, the provincial headquarters of the Ministry of Defense in Isfahan. And in the northeast, Israel says it struck a refueling plane in the city of Mashhad, describing it as its longest-range strike since the start of its attacks. Sunday's death toll includes the intelligence chief of Iran's Revolutionary Guard, Mohammad Kazemi. Iran's president says more strikes will be met with more retaliation.
Israel knows no boundaries. They intrude wherever they want, with permission from America. In a conversation that U.S. envoy Steve Witkoff had with our foreign minister, he said that Israel cannot do anything without our permission, meaning these recent strikes is also carried out with America's permission.
The fighting between longtime foes is fueling fears, but many in Iran support the government's retaliation.
They used to call us terrorists. So what? Now even America and Britain should fear us. Let them be scared.
We are not really scared. We are more worried for our children. We belong to a generation of war. We are not scared of such incidents.
All right, we watched this earlier. We're just rewatching the same shit now. All right, let's keep going
All
here.
be with us, because if you want to get the nukes out, you better work together with us and make sure that Iran does not reach its capability and that our region can move to peace and dialogue and coexistence and rapprochement.
Israel has shot down dozens of drones launched from Iran over the past 24 hours. The IDF has warned Israelis to expect more Iranian attacks in the coming days. And Iran's foreign minister says his country is acting in self-defense.
Self-defense is a recognized principle in international relations. It is the legitimate right of every country to defend itself against aggression. And this is exactly what our armed forces began doing 2 nights ago. Last night, you witnessed new dimensions of this response, and it will continue.
Israeli jets have been striking the capital, Tehran, throughout the 3rd day of this war. Iranian civilians have also been killed in the bombardment. This missile struck next to a shopping centre in the city of Isfahan. And the operation has been expanded. Oil depots and gas refineries have now been hit. Huge fires burnt long into the night as Iran's critical national infrastructure and major source of economy is now being targeted. This is also an attempt to disrupt Iran's fuel supplies to limit their ability to launch missiles at Israel. This afternoon, there was a rare daytime missile attack on Israel.
I've seen one interceptor missile very far in the distance, just a trailing smoke.
There were no reports of impacts or injuries this time. The Israeli government has extended emergency measures across the country until the end of the month. The airport is expected to remain closed for the foreseeable. They're preparing for the war to last many more weeks. Alistair Bunkle, Sky News, in Tel Aviv.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Washington for a special edition of Special Report. I'm Brett Baer. Coming up in a few minutes, my world-exclusive live interview with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, the first since the Israeli strikes on Iran began. But first, this afternoon, a Fox News alert, the growing conflict in the Middle East, Israel launching a 3rd day of airstrikes across Iran, Israeli officials advising Iranians to evacuate arms factories and threatening to use even greater force. Iran saying 128 people have been killed, 900 wounded so far. The Islamic Republic responding with missile attacks of its own, which have killed 13 people, wounding more than 360. Iran's foreign minister saying today his country will stop its attacks if Israel stops theirs. Let's get the latest now from Chief Foreign Correspondent Trey Yingst, live in Tel Aviv. Good afternoon, Trey.
Brett, good afternoon. Since the conflict began, Iran has launched more than 250 ballistic missiles into Israel. Overnight, 11 people were killed when some of those missiles slipped past air defense systems, slamming into residential areas. Hundreds more have been wounded. When we arrived at one impact site this morning, rescue crews were combing through the rubble of an apartment building in central Israel looking for survivors. One man in his 50s named Meir was still trapped as his son, who had been wounded in the attack, waited to learn the fate of his father. Right now, rescue workers are digging through the debris following that Iranian ballistic missile attack that targeted central Israel. They are looking for survivors who are trapped under the rubble, including Meir, that father. His son Ofek is off in the distance, still wearing his hospital gown after he was pulled from the blast site. He is hoping for a miracle today following this Iranian attack. Israel is responding to these recent attacks with more airstrikes targeting both military and energy positions inside Iran. Iranian media reports 128 people have been killed and 900 injured. We know among that list are Iranian nuclear scientists and top IRGC commanders targeted by Israel. Iran's foreign minister spoke today about the American support for Israel during the conflict. Now, in conversations with Israeli sources, they are drawing a stark contrast in what is happening here. The Israelis are going after military and nuclear sites. The Iranians are firing ballistic missiles toward Israeli civilians. Brett.
Trey Yingst in Tel Aviv. Trey, thank you. Joining us now, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Mr. Prime Minister, welcome back to Special Report.
God damn, he's ugly as fuck.
Thank you. Good to be with you, Brett.
First of all, let me start at the beginning.
Before we get to this, I want to show you this Trey Yingst coverage. An unprecedented moment, he says.
Moment for Israel. Again, we have been reporting here on the ground for nearly 7 years. We have seen rocket attacks from Hamas and Islamic Jihad in Gaza, precision-guided missiles coming from Hezbollah in southern Lebanon, ballistic missiles from the Houthis in Yemen, Iran-backed Iraqi and Syrian Shia militias launching drones and missiles at this country. What we are seeing today, Israel has never faced. And Israeli officials tell us they are fighting for their survival.
Trey,
Guys, back to you.
Trey, you mentioned that there's an emphasis on taking out the energy infrastructure. You mentioned many of the sites that they hit. This morning I read that there was an oil field that was hit, but that oil field is co-owned by Iran and Qatar. What kind of worries are there, or anything you can see as far as the possibility that this now could expand?
This is a really great question, and I also have some reporting on this. And I just want to think through our sourcing on this. This was someone, an official familiar with this oil field and this gas field. You raise an important point. This is a shared gas field. It's the largest field in the world. And on the Iranian side, it starts near to the city of Bandar Abbas in the south. But it goes over, and the Qataris and the Americans are invested in the other side of the gas field. And I spoke with a source who described the Israeli strike against that as a dangerous escalation, because there is concern that if ultimately that gas field is targeted and the Iranians start to respond in the region, that American interests and assets could be hit or affected. And it could lead to an increase in energy prices. It could lead to American forces or embassies in the region coming under attack. And so there are certainly officials in this part of the world that are concerned about the location of these strikes. But the bottom line here is that the Israelis understand the next step up on the escalation ladder for them is going after the energy infrastructure in Iran, the very infrastructure that the regime uses to fund their ballistic missile program. That
Bro. Look at the framing. Look at the fucking framing. Sorry, even American and Qatari interests need to take a hit here, and potentially with Iranian retaliation, the rest of the world has to take a hit here because, sorry, America and Israel have great ambitions of murdering everyone they can in Tehran. This is why I say fascism is a death cult. It's a suicidal pact. And it's basically a double suicide where the Western world is going to eat it too, because we have to let Israel keep doing whatever the fuck it wants, and America does not recalculate and maybe demand restraint from Israel. Open presence, thank you for the 50 big
they
one.
then use to fire at Israeli cities like the one that we're in central Israel and hit buildings like the one behind me. And so it's all connected. And the region is watching very closely to see what comes next. The question here is, will there be a point that the Iranians throw in the towel and say, look, they're not going to win because the Israelis have that American support. And if it continues to be this bad, the Israelis are going to continue looking to the United States for help. We don't know what comes next. All we know is that according to Israeli officials, this country is bracing for days of intense ballistic missile barrages. We have seen 6 barrages so far, more than 200 missiles streaming through the skies of this country. Last night, as they were targeting the northern city of Haifa, we stood on a balcony and we could see as they were slipping past missile defense systems, others being intercepted in the skies above. And then just about 30 minutes later, another barrage targeting the center part of Israel, one of those missiles slipping past the Arrow defense system and the Patriot system that is also deployed in this country and slamming into this building, killing at least one child, killing civilians that were here asleep in their beds. Some of them rushed to bomb shelters. Others couldn't make it in time. And the aftermath, guys, you see is behind me as these crews are picking up brick by brick, debris by debris, concrete block by concrete block, hoping for a miracle here in the center part of Israel, understanding that there still could be survivors. The father of that man, Ofek, that we talked to earlier, still trapped under the rubble, and they are hoping for a miracle. Guys, back to you.
Beginning. Why?
So like Gaza every day, yes, but also even Tehran. Even Tehran. Because the casualties on the Iranian side are also significantly larger than the casualties on the Israeli side. So even if you were like, oh, well, you know, this is a separate incident, like we can't involve Israel's genocidal ambition in Gaza on this, which, by the way, you should. I don't think you can remove that from the calculation. But even if you were to look at simply Israel versus Iran,
why did you launch this operation now?
Because we were facing an imminent threat, a dual existential threat. One, the threat of Iran rushing to weaponize their enriched uranium to make atomic bombs with a specific and declared intent to destroy us. Second, a rush to increase their ballistic missile arsenal into the capacity that they would have 3,600 weapons a year, new weapons, within 3 years, 10,000 ballistic missiles, each one weighing a ton, coming in at Mach 6, right into our cities, as you saw today. And then in 6 years, 20,000. That's no country can sustain that, and certainly not a country the size of Israel. So we had to act. It was the 12th hour. We did act to save ourselves, but also, I think, to not only protect ourselves, but protect the world from this incendiary regime. We can't have the world's most dangerous regime have the world's most dangerous weapons. We're protecting ourselves, but by doing so, we're protecting many others.
You know, I just want to press you on the intel on the nuclear part. Less than 2 months ago, the new director of national intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, testified on Capitol Hill, saying that everything had been suspended since 2003 and had not restarted, that the nuclear program had not been restarted by the Iranians. So did something change from end of March until this week? Was the U.S. intel wrong?
The intel we got and we shared with the United States was absolutely clear. Was absolutely clear that they were working in a secret plan to weaponize the uranium. They were marching very quickly. They would achieve a test device and possibly an initial device within months and certainly less than a year. That was the intel we shared with the United States. I think we have excellent intel in Iran. I think we've proven that. And that is something that we couldn't possibly accept. Whether it would be 6 months or 12 months or 13 months is immaterial. Once they go that route, it's too late. And we will not have a second Holocaust, a nuclear Holocaust. We already had one in the previous century. The Jewish state is not going to have the Holocaust meted on the Jewish people. It's not going to happen. Never again is now, and we had to act now.
What is the goal of these strikes? You talked early in one of your speeches after the attacks began with a message directly to the Iranian people. Clearly, some of these strikes have targeted Iranian leadership, military, nuclear scientists, and other leaders. So is regime change part of the effort here?
Could certainly be the result because the Iran regime is very weak. I think it's basically left with two things. It's plans to have atomic bombs and ballistic missiles. That's basically what Iran has. They certainly don't have the people. 80% of the people will throw these theological thugs out. I mean, they murder them. They oppress them for 46 years.
We must defend the Jewish state. We can't allow a fundamentalist Muslim state in the region operating in the ways that it does. It's like, bro, okay. What about Israel, you fucking asshole? Oh, I forgot. Sorry. I forget when we're talking about the Jewish state, all of a sudden it's not considered religious. It's like totally separate.
Years they've yearned for freedom. I mean, they shoot women.
Theological thugs is a great way to describe Israel, honestly.
Because their hair is uncovered. They shoot students. They just suck the oxygen from this brave and gifted people, the Iranian people. And you know, the Persian people and the Jewish people have had an ancient friendship. Goes back to the times of Cyrus the Great. It could happen again. But again, the decision to act, to rise up at this time is the decision of the Iranian people. We decided to act.
Yeah, bro, the Iranians are watching Fox News with fucking Brett Baer.
It would take Iran about 12 months to enrich enough nuclear material for a single nuclear weapon.
United States Secretary of State Antony Blinken is warning that Iran is potentially just months away or less from nuclear breakpoint.
Iran is 2 months away from a nuclear weapon, and it's a victory to get them 1 year away?
Iran could be less than a month away from building a nuclear weapon.
Netanyahu has made 2 tough-talking TV appearances, saying that Iran is just months away from making a nuclear bomb.
What is important?
He's just crazy. He's so wrong. That's wild.
To understand is that you have to dismantle the entire terror empire, and especially before its main practitioners, the terror states of Iran and Iraq, acquire nuclear weapons. And
the terror states of Iran and Iraq, 2 countries that literally have nothing to do with 9/11. Iran especially crazy to say, because for its entire fucking war on terror history, America has consistently relied on Iranian intelligence to successfully go after Salafist brigades that America itself initially backed. ISIS, Al-Qaeda. These are inventions of Western empire that fucking ran rampant throughout the entire region, that America uses just cause to just like attack whoever the fuck they want to. And Iran has always fought against them. He's not wrong. He's not doing this for nukes. He's doing this for regime change with the help of the collective West. This is normal U.S. foreign policy, but with extra violence. No, I know that. I understand that. I'm saying it's fucking pathetic.
And this, I think, has been a wake-up call from hell. It is telling us, you have the power now to act.
Anyway, there's this also dunk on someone who I think is like usually fine. Yalda Hakim is probably one of the better anchors in Western press, but she got absolutely fucking slapped around in this interview.
Thank you very much for joining us here on the program. Did Iran majorly miscalculate? Because even now, President Trump is providing Iran with an off-ramp, telling them to come to the negotiating table. At what point will Iran take that offer?
Well, according to your narrative, Iran always miscalculates. It's a regime. I heard the regime 20 times in the last 10 minutes as I was listening. You sound like TASS news agency upgraded during the Soviet Union. And you say the regime is unpopular and is killing its people. When General Soleimani was murdered by the same Trump that you talk about, millions of people came to the streets of this city, Tehran, that I'm in. So how is it that he's so unpopular? This propaganda that you're producing is only justifying aggression. What the Israeli regime did was aggression. What it did was unjustified aggression. And Netanyahu has been saying for over 30 years, some say up to 40 years, he's been saying that Iran's on the verge of creating a nuclear weapon. And thanks to people like you, he gets away with these lies. But people can go online and check how many times he said.
Professor Morandi, if you could just focus on, I know your narrative and I know the line you take, and we've spoken a number of times, and I'm sure, but if you could just focus on answering the question, in terms of the nuclear talks, on day 60, as far as we know, Donald Trump had said Iran has 60 days. Israel attacked on the 61st day. Can we talk a little bit about the regime's competence levels, the intelligence and security?
Well, it is unpopular. Dude, it doesn't fucking matter. What are you talking about? Are you having a conversation about domestic policy inside of Iran? Are you not happy with the way that they're picking up trash Are you not happy with their lack of freedom, like lack of free speech or some shit? Okay, you can save that for a totally separate conversation. You can't use that within the backdrop of Israel's unjustifiable bombing campaign in Tehran, because if you do that, you're ridiculous. Notice how nobody fucking says that when talking about the Iranian retaliatory strikes. No one goes, the incredibly unpopular Israeli regime is getting bombed. Nobody says that. No one said that after 9/11. The incredibly unpopular American regime, after decades of instability in the region, is finally experiencing the concept of blowback. Like, can you imagine Western press, like BBC, calling up like American officials to be like, why is your administrative structure so incredibly unpopular? Perhaps it has something to do with the endless amount of destabilization that it caused in the region. Like post 9/11? I don't say that about Israel either. I'm not saying like Israel's regime is unpopular amongst the population. It doesn't fucking matter. The reason why this is happening is not because Israel is unpopular amongst its own citizens and Iran is looking for a regime change in Israel. Western press consistently does say Netanyahu is unpopular. Yeah, but they don't use that as a fucking reason for why Iran is bombing Israel. That's my point. Do you not understand? This conversation is about look at the Chiron. Israel, Iran attacks. Do Iranians dare revolt? Iranians, when they're fucking being bombed by Israel with American weapons, are still getting called in to question their own loyalties to the government. Like, what a ridiculous fucking statement. And it only serves one purpose, which is manufacturing consent for Israel's actions in Iran. What are you talking about? Like, only in jokes do we talk about like Xi Jinping send the Dongfeng missiles. You know what I mean? I don't mean that sincerely when I look to this fucking awful administration. You know, I don't want to die, or at least for that reason. You know what I mean? The average liberal castigates the invasion of Iraq, getting duped by the exact same rhetoric 22 years later without even a shred of critical thinking. Iran as WMDs will never not be funny. Yeah, Iran as WMDs. Iran is unpopular. They will welcome us as liberators. It's the exact same method. And if liberals, I mean, here's the problem. A lot of people are that stupid. A lot of people are dumb enough to be like, yeah, especially well-read libs. Well-read libs that need a just cause for pushing a regime change through military action. This is perfect for them. This is a perfect narrative for them. They hear this and they're like, this is great. She asked a valid question. How could Iran not expect an attack on day 61 when Trump was evacuating U.S. troops and diplomats? Iran was made to look rather stupid. Wait, what? That doesn't showcase the Iranian stupidity as much as it showcases the depravity of the West. Having a fake negotiation about denuclearization with no real goals other than to create a sense of stability so that Israel could fucking directly strike Tehran. And that wasn't even the question anyway. Is Iran negotiating with Israel? No, Iran is negotiating with Israel's daddy, the United States of America. Yeah, Bush had just stolen the election. 9/11 could have been the start of a revolution against him. At what point do we go, what is this fucking conversation that's taking place? I like her. I'm supposed to do her podcast soon. I think as far as like Western press goes, as far as Western media goes, I think she is definitely infinitely more critical of Israel than many other commentators are in this space. But as Time Without a Owo said, this is a reset not only for Israeli society, but this kind of military incursion is a reset for the media in the West as well, where they just like forget about 19 months of unlimited child murder all of a sudden. They're like, well, there's a big enemy here that America has a great ambition to destroy and thwart. Everybody fucking resets in the media. The difference, of course, is that the public doesn't reset. The public still clearly looks at the situation. The public, an extra dimension here is that leftist youth who supported Iranian women when the new regime came into power, not malice, just understandable confusion for them. Yeah, the public still remembers and still sees the ongoing atrocities. Like, there is no reset for people that are not in Israel, and there's certainly no reset for people that are in the Western world. I mean, there's always there's endless smoke from the global South anyway. But even Western societies have broadly come to the conclusion that Israel is not like Israel is not a good party here. Israel is not a decent moral actor here. It's true. While you were away earlier, a CBS reporter was talking about how the Iranian strikes killed 2 Israeli children. Obviously fucking horrific, but they failed to mention how the deaths of these 2 children was the aftermath of Israel killing 20 plus children in Iran and tens of thousands of children in Gaza. Yeah. What's good? You look crazy right now. You look swagged out. You look like you're ready to do Easter. This is the most Christian you've ever looked, even though you got the Salafist beard. Come show your fit to the chat, please. This man, dude. This fucking guy, bro. I swear to God. The drip. All right, get out of here. I'm talking news. Longest goddamn shorts I've ever seen in my whole life.
The competence of your intelligence and security agencies, the fact that Mossad was able to build drone sites in your country, the fact that the leadership was asleep in their beds when they were struck and that you ignored these warnings. Can we talk a little bit about the fact that the regime was taken completely by surprise and top leaders have now been decapitated and killed as a result of the Israeli attack?
Saying regime, I think it helps you contain your contempt for independent countries. You after all, you work for Sky News. It's understandable. But the regime, how do you know that the Israeli regime had bases inside Iran? You're just repeating their propaganda. Of course, Israel for you is not a regime. Sorry, it's a state. But
Israel did have a drone building factory inside of Iran. That's not fake. That is real.
it's a genocidal state carrying out.
And the reality of the matter is, a big part of that is because of the crippling economic sanctions and the desperation that the public feels and the instability that causes, partnered with the fundamentalist Ayatollah and the policies that they've implemented. You know what's really interesting about this? I was reading a report on this a couple weeks ago, like before all of this shit unfolded, where with the more like reformist president, the Iranian government was moving in the direction of like not suppressing people, for not suppressing women in highly populated areas, densely populated cities, for not wearing hijab and stuff like that. Like there was a little bit of a change in attitude, and they were moving in the direction of like a little bit of reform. Now that could potentially be short-lived, right? But it's interesting to see that, like, it's interesting to see because even they are not oblivious to how much these restrictions cause enmity amongst the population. because at times of unprecedented resistance, it's almost always been the cultural flashpoint for the Iranian population is like a forcible hijab law being enforced by like some sort of morality police. Like that has always been a major point of contention, understandably so. Yeah, I'm living in Tehran. No one was forced to wear the hijab for almost the last 2 years. Tehran is full of girls without hijab. My sister went with a t-shirt and she was fine. I don't know why Satan Yahoo is saying fuck them. No, I understand that. My point is that came after the fucking major resistance and like a lot of fucking back and forth in Iran though, no? And they loosened the restriction. What's that? Oh shit. New mount just dropped. Nice. Do you think if the Ayatollah regime lifted all moral policing and hijab restriction, then things would be better for Iran or the West would accept Iran? Fuck no. Abso-fucking-lutely not. That's not my point at all. I don't give a fuck about Western acceptance anyway. No, I'm talking about this one purely on the basis of domestic policy from the perspective of the domestic population, the Iranian population. And also, secondly, I'm talking about it even as a mechanism of like beefing up its national security, because clearly it's not even just the hijab restriction. It's like all of this, all of these repressive attitudes. All it does is develop anger and resentment amongst the population, and that creates an opportunity for foreign countries, especially when paired with the much more consequential economic sanctions, strangling the population and causing instability. It creates opportunities of espionage like the one that I'm talking about with the fucking drone factory. Yeah, yes, we did. Mahsa Amini movement. We lost lots of young people to make this change in only Tehran. Exactly. It's not, I wasn't talking about this from the perspective of the West. The West will never fucking, the West doesn't give a shit about a secular country or not. If the West cared about monarchs or Islamist fundamentalism, why aren't they doing this to Saudi Arabia? Why aren't they doing this to any of the Gulf states? Because it does not matter. You can do whatever the fuck you want. Western powers have famously thwarted popular democratic election results with military coups, violent military coups, only to implement fascist dictatorship, as long as that fascist dictatorship is a servile dog to Western interests and will play ball. This liberal calculation is completely idiotic. The West didn't care about Iran when they didn't have forcible hijabs in 1954. They hated Iran even then because they tried to nationalize the petroleum industry. Yeah. They were moving in the direction of nationalization. They didn't care about the Shah that they put into power when he was fucking engaging in mass arrests and torturing people. They didn't give a fuck about that. It wasn't because the, Iranian women can wear bikinis and the beaches or whatever the fuck, That is not a real calculation. That's just marketing. And the moment that you give air to that kind of sentiment, you're playing along with the marketing.
Extermination in Gaza, but that's not really important. How do you know
so are
that
you denying that the top commanders have been killed? Are you denying the top commanders were killed?
Oh, so you mean what you're referring to basically is a an attack, an act of aggression, that they suddenly fire missiles at civilian targets.
It is funny to see. It is funny to see like a guy like this is the Jonathan Concuncrius of Iran, kind of. Like, you rarely ever get to hear someone from Iran who is playing the role of like the pro-Iran position, like unconditionally. Because in most circumstances, an Iranian that you will have on Western press will literally be working for a right-wing think tank that is actively working to thwart the and destabilize the Iranian government and destroy Iran from within. And they'll obviously they'll have like a Persian name, but their output is never this unconditionally 10 toes down pro-Iran. Stop talking for the Iranian people. You are misleading people that watch you. Yes, just the tip 90. Go ahead, tell us about what the Iranian position is. No, bro, you don't understand. Okay, me and all the friends at Beverly Hills, we want Iran to turn into glass so I can go back. I want to see my grandfather's house. You don't understand. I am Persian. We want to nuke Iran so I can go back eat kubide.
At apartment buildings and slaughter people in those apartment buildings, slaughtering whole families. For you, that's targeting. That's a really sophisticated act.
But if I can just ask, have military facilities been hit? Have nuclear facilities been hit?
One of the buildings that has some of these commanders, one or two of these commanders, was a large apartment building where they killed everyone, 60 people, 20 children. That's not important for people like you, but that's important for people like us. For you, people like you who support ethno-supremacism and the chosen people being able to slaughter and exterminate
Professor
Palestinians.
Marandi, I'm just trying to get the perspective. We're trying to give you airtime so that you can give us the Iranian perspective on this.
Morandi's from Virginia. It don't matter, brother. He is 10 toes down pro. What do you mean? He is pro-Iran.
And we want to know, and I want to understand, Iran's...
Most of the dudes that you have like this are not. They're not going to defend the Iranian government.
Position here. Will you come to the negotiating table now? Donald Trump, after these series of airstrikes and this attack was launched, called on Iran to come back to the negotiating table. As the spokesperson of the regime, or as someone who worked closely with the negotiating team, do you believe they will come to the negotiating table now?
Well, your regime should know, and your news agency or your TV channel should know better. We were at the negotiating table. It was Trump that conspired with Netanyahu to attack Iran. This is how you twist the truth. You shouldn't invite me because you're easily exposed. Iran was negotiating. Initially, Trump had one position, and so did Witkoff. And then they flipped and said no enrichment. And then they continued the negotiations. And the night before the attack, Trump said that we don't want war. And then after the attack, he said, we're all for it. And you're saying Iran? Is Iran going to come back to the negotiating table? The audacity. Come on. Show at least a bit of integrity.
By the way, Iran 100%, 1,000% would cease its hostilities literally overnight at a moment's notice if Israel and America gave real assurances. Like, there is not even a question in my fucking mind. There has not been a single moment. There has not been a single moment where Iran has behaved like the irresponsible party post October 7. Not once. And they have actually violated their own preset red lines. I assume partially because the early reporting was correct that Hamas and the Palestinian resistance did not inform Iran of October 7. But like there was an established red line that Israel violated. Hezbollah, the Houthis, Iran were supposed to do all of this stuff that Iran is doing right now if Israel were to go full tilt ethnic cleansing in the Gaza Strip. They didn't do it. That was supposed to be a established red line that they did not enforce. When they did not enforce said red line, or at least like Hezbollah did to a certain degree, but with a lot of restraint, they didn't do it. They didn't do it after October 7. They didn't do it after Israel bombed the embassy compound in Damascus. They didn't do it after Israel blew up Ismail Haniyeh in Tehran. They don't do it. And it does feel like the reason why after these new revelations of how deeply penetrated Iran actually is in terms of like Mossad penetration and maybe even Western intelligence, that perhaps might have been a calculation by Yahya Sinwar to not inform Hezbollah or Iran about October 7 beforehand. And it also works with the, I think it works along with the, Israel did not believe that October 7 would be as deadly, even if they thought that there was, a lot of military training happening. Like people say, how could they have not foreseen this? Like, how could they have not foreseen October 7? Maybe they had a higher priority intelligence asset deeply embedded both within the IRGC and in Hezbollah as well. And because Hezbollah and IRGC were not telling them this is going to happen, they just thought that it was not going to happen. Because even if they see military movement, military training, and then they're waiting on information from their sources within Iran and their sources within Lebanon inside of Hezbollah, and they don't actually hear anything from them, they're like, oh, yeah, it's fine. You can move troops to the fucking West Bank. You know what I mean? Dude, this camera is not doing Benjamin Netanyahu any favors, by the way. It's pretty crazy. Also, here is this. New Israel urges the Trump administration to join the war with Iran to eliminate its nuclear program. U.S. official told me that the currently administration is not considering a move. Aaron Mate says, based on the pattern so far, this anonymous claim means that the administration is definitely considering such a move or has already told Israel yes. Just as the back and forth that they've had about assassinating top Iranian leadership. Anyway, let's hear from this other monster.
Everybody knows that when the Israelis try to retard the Iranian nuclear weapon program, the Israelis are doing the world a huge service. So why doesn't the British government just come out and say what they believe and what everybody knows? Why don't they support what Israel...
I like that everyone in opposition, like all the opposition parties, regardless of like whether they are Democrats, supposed to be the leftist opposition to the Republicans in America, or they're the Tories, which is supposed to be the right-wing opposition to the Labor Party, which is supposed to be the left governance. They all say they would be more in favor of Israel than the existing government. It's so funny. It's just like, it doesn't matter who's in fucking power. It doesn't matter who's in charge. They're full tilt in support of Israel, and their opposition, regardless of whatever kind of like ideological brush they've painted themselves with, is saying they would be even more in favor of Israel.
has done. I'll tell you why, because it's all about managing the growing anti-Israeli feeling in the Labour Party, the growing anti-Semitism, I'm afraid, in Labour rank and file, and it's nothing to do with the national interest. Everybody knows that when the Israelis try to retard the Iranian nuclear weapon program...
He said the R word Cancel him. Murat! Bir gelsene. Şunu sana vereyim. Ben yürüyemiyorum. He said the R word. He's ableist. I guess it's his word. He can say it. You know what I mean? Alsana şunu dolaba koysana.
How are you?
Oren Marmerstein, Israel's Ministry of Foreign Affairs spokesperson, also went on Sky News and had this to say.
How are you explaining to Israelis why they're needing to spend the night in bomb shelters, why mothers are trying to comfort their children when the walls of their apartments are shaking? How are you explaining it to them, and how long are you telling them to prepare for it to continue?
Perhaps the best way to explain how we're explaining, I'll share with you how I explained it to my 9-year-old daughter.
We really wanted to blow up Iran. Tehran. Iran. Tehran. Hezbollah. Hamas. Tehran. These are regimes of terror. Yes.
When we rushed her into the shelter, I told her that in a very foul place called Iran, there is a very extreme regime, the Mullah regime, and they are doing everything possible to get their hands around the most dangerous weapon humankind ever known, nuclear weapon. And that's why we are undergoing these difficulties, but it's in order for us to be safe. And actually, it's not only for us, Israel, to be safe. The idea is to make this place, the world, a safer place.
How are you explaining to Israel?
I lied to my daughter about how Israel is number one and we have to blow up Tehran. This is why we have to do it. Anyway, Sky News' Yalda Hakim is back. This time asking an Israeli military spokesperson about the dozen Iranian women and children the Israeli forces killed in recent days. This is part of the reason why I say she's like not the worst.
Something amazing I don't think anyone has believed we would do. Israel has gained freedom of operation in Iranian skies. We have been operating over 2 days in a row, nonstop in Iranian skies. Our jets are flying over Tehran, locating those ballistic missiles, gathering intelligence, intercepting them before they fire towards Israel.
Lieutenant Colonel Shoshani, you've also killed dozens of Iranian civilians. Israel claims and often talks about being different to the Iranian regime, but you've also left...
Very local accent. Yes, guys, again, you're failing to comprehend, once again, due to your unlimited anti-Semitism, that this is a localized MENA accent, okay? Yes, it sounds a lot like a dude that you will hang out with in, I don't know, New York City, Los Angeles, but actually it's, you don't get it. It's fucking, clearly this is a local MENA accent. Okay? Clearly. Can you please put subtitles on? I can't understand him through his accent.
Dozens and dozens of Iranian women and children dead in these operations.
Well, I think we are definitely different. I think it's very simple to see how far different we are. You know, Israel is carrying out precise operation over 1,500 kilometers from Israel, and you see a building with a hole the size of a tiny window, while Iran is.
They love pointing to that photo. Like, we haven't fucking seen the other buildings that they took down entirely, and also what they have done in Gaza. Like, oh, you don't get it. You don't get it. It's a very targeted strike. It's very targeted, very precise. Please celebrate us. It's like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, that's not the only thing we've seen, man.
Is firing ballistic missiles with 1 ton of explosives in the warhead. These ballistic missiles can explode an entire neighborhood, and they're just firing them at the center of population. Israel is sending their jets. We're sending our people to be above enemy territory to try and do.
I love this argument always, which is why, as you guys know, I'm team give Hamas an Iron Dome. I'm also team give the Al-Qassam brigades an air force and an airport, like a military airport, so they can do more precise targeting. Same with Iran. Let Iran fly through Syrian and Iraqi airspace, and let Iran also have refueling capabilities above the Syrian and Iraqi airspace so they can do more precise, more targeted campaigns. If that's how we're supposed to be doing it, like, okay, fair is fair. I'm sure they don't want to use up all of their missiles, right? Give the Iranian Air Force equal opportunity to do precise targeting. Lol, 2 brain cell take. Really? That's a 2 brain cell take? But it's actually a maximum brain cell take when he literally says that. He's like, oh, well, we're actually sending our troops over there. We're actually sending our troops over there. It's like scary. We're sending the Israeli Air Force over there to do precise targeting. It's like, yeah, because you've packed up every other regional power. You get free reign. If you want, like, what's the argument? Iran is imprecise in their targeting? Yeah, they are. They're fucking lobbing missiles from thousands of miles away. If you want them to be precise, let them fucking fly over Iraq. Let them fly over Syria. Let them fly over Jordan. You know? Yeah. Get them to be able to refuel their planes on the long mission.
As precise as we can, and we have been very precise so far, and we have even given warnings. You know, the most important thing in the battlefield is to have the element of surprise. We have given warning.
Lol, 2 brain cell take. Let's arm terrorists with F-35s. No. I wouldn't do that. No. It seems like the F-35 is maybe F-22s. It seems like the F-22 is more resilient. The F-35 is pretty dangerous for the IRGC's Air Force. I don't want the IRGC pilots to risk their lives by getting into a death trap. I guess F-22s, you can't bomb with them, right? I'm not a big plane autist. I don't know what kind of munitions you can put on F-22s, but I'm sure they could still be more precise. Like we don't already give F-35s to terrorists? Yeah, I know. Fucking Israel has F-35s. What do you mean? We have already been arming terrorists with F-35s, chatter. Yeah, we should give them B-52s. We should give Iran B-52s and send them a decent number of those Boeing rockets, the bunker busters. It seems like Israel has a lot of tunnels. Yeah, you have to understand, we're so precise we kill civilians from thousands of kilometers away. We're also so precise that we murder civilians 50 meters away. These barbarians in Iran are not precise, so they kill civilians from thousands of kilometers away. Anyway. A document found in Gaza showed that Yahya Sinwar informed IRGC's Palestine branch commander Saeed Izzadi of the imminent 10-7, but Izzadi didn't inform either Nasrallah or the IRGC high command because he didn't consider it serious. It seems the Iranians underestimated Hamas as much as the Israelis did. Wait, really? I thought that was like fucking Israel trying to be like, oh yeah, they did inform Iran, even though their previous intelligence showed that they had not. That was the only moment of unity after October 7 where every outlet was like, no, Iran, Israel, America, and every part of foreign press was in unison collectively saying Hamas didn't inform Iran of this action. But yeah, I don't really trust documents found in Gaza.
Which is the Lebanon playbook, and we ended up seeing thousands of people dead in your war against Hezbollah last year.
I just want to ask you, Lieutenant Colonel. We have.
I was on the ground in Lebanon.
We have seen thousands of.
I was on the ground in Lebanon, and I saw. Lieutenant Colonel, I was on the ground in Lebanon. I was seeing how you were issuing the warnings and not giving people enough time to get out. And then we saw thousands of civilians displaced and thousands killed. But I just
that is not true. We have seen thousands of terrorists killed in Lebanon successfully. We've not seen thousands of
including civilians, including women and children and civilians in Lebanon.
That link that chatter sent me is literally every single air defense company and coordinates, every single one of them, and coordinates of THAAD, coordinates, like real-time coordinates of THAAD anti-missile systems, right triad top to bottom, and then they added Ayatollah Khamenei and a random Iranian pharmacy student is a Turkish guy. He added Khamenei.
Most precise operation in history with the Beeper operation, we were able to hit thousands of Hezbollah terrorists without anyone around them being injured. You are misleading your audience. Israel had the most precise operation against a terrorist.
Oh, he left the interview?
Toll in Lebanon in 1 week was higher than an entire month in 2000.
Of terrorists, of Hezbollah terrorists.
Of Hezbollah terrorists. I love. It's like, listen, you don't understand. When I'm raiding the drawers of a Lebanese compound to wear the new sexy lingerie, I'm doing that because I'm fighting against Hezbollah terrorists. Okay? When we're killing women and children, we're killing Hezbollah terrorist women and children. I get what you mean. She's not that bad. Yeah, no, she's not.
Were killed. Not all of those people that were thousands of people that were killed were terrorists. And we've seen the same sort of operations in Gaza as well, where 60,000 people, including thousands of women and children in Gaza, have been killed. But I just...
We're going to continue in a bit. Thank you. All right. Bye.
He took his ball and left. I was in Lebanon during the Patriot situation. It was not precise. Nurses were injured since a lot of the Patriots entered economic circulation. There was such a strong sense of fear that people locked their phones in safes because they thought they would blow up. No, I know. It was so fucking gross. It was so gross that they also presented it as like this incredible, sophisticated, precise attack. It's like, dude, it is directly illegal. It is the most illegal thing you can do. It is a severe violation of numerous international humanitarian rights, rules of combat. He took Hezbollah and left. Yeah. It's so crazy that people still to this day treat that as like not a terrorist strike, but instead as like an incredible act of I guess an incredible sophisticated military action against like Hezbollah terrorists. Yeah, they think it's like cool spy shit. It's gross. Why is Netanyahu so pale? I don't know. Maybe he's just been too scared to leave his house or to leave his bunker. He hasn't seen the beautiful Tel Aviv sunlight in a couple days. Yeah, we already covered this. Channel 14, a mouthpiece of Netanyahu, reports that Israel is preparing the Dahiyya Doctrine for Iran. They want to do the Dahiyya Doctrine for Iran. The Dahiyya Doctrine is the death and destruction of all civilian life. That's what they famously did in Lebanon. That's where the name comes from. It is what they did. Video inside bomb shelter. Don't vote for Zion.
Hi, everyone. This is Sam Sutton sending you a video from the basement of the Inbal Hotel. This is the second time today.
Bro, why are you broadcasting your coordinates to Iran? Yo, these people have no... I can't tell. I can't tell if this is like... I can't tell if this is just like genuinely how comfortable Israeli society feels. And not recognizing like an imminent sense of danger, lack of survival instinct. Like, what the fuck?
We've had to come to a shelter, and there'll probably be one in the middle of the night like there has been for the last 3 nights. The reason we are here is because the Iranian people does not believe that the Jewish state has the right to exist.
No, that's not the reason. No, it's again projection. I think it's because Israel does not believe Iran has a right to exist, which is why they bombed Tehran. I just don't understand. Has there ever been a moment throughout Israeli history? It hasn't been that long. Okay, 77 years. Is there ever a moment where Israel was actually in the wrong? Because it feels crazy that they're always in the right, and it's just all their enemies are in the wrong. It's so weird. It's so weird how unjustly maligned Israel is. It's so crazy. I mean, I don't know, man. I feel like if you're smelling dog shit everywhere you go, maybe you stepped on dog shit, you know? Maybe it's not everybody else around you that smells like shit. Maybe you smell like shit.
In fact, there's a mayoral primary coming up this week where one of the candidates does not want or does not believe the Jewish state has a right to exist. Please, I'm begging you, make sure to vote in the primary this week. Voting started today, Sunday, and early voting will go through next Sunday. Do not make a mistake and forget to vote. And more importantly, make sure Governor Cuomo, who is...
Yeah. I'm here to tell you that Iranian ballistic missiles are dangerous. But what's far more dangerous than Iranian ballistic missiles is Zoran Madami. That's right, Zoran Madami. A danger, a far more imminent danger to all Jews around the world is, I repeat, Zoran Madami.
Who has been a great friend of the Jewish people, will be our next mayor, and not a person that doesn't believe the Jewish state has a right to exist. We don't want to be in a situation like this in America.
No.
Thank you.
Yeah, he's like, these are all the other people in Israel who don't want Zoran Madawi to be president of New York City. Look. They're all here showing their anger. Zoran is a 12er Shia like the Ayatollah. He is Shia, but I mean, I don't give a fuck. Who gives a shit? No one cares. He's also an American. You don't want this in America? It's just a bingo room at Senior Living Center. The anti-Zoran protest.
Mike Nussbaum. Let's get the huge crowd. I'm now going to call upon one of the first person, I think maybe even incredible crowd. Person, this ugly guy.
Don't let Zoran wrap his tentacles around New York City. Never broken. IDF soldier on having hope amid Israel-Iran conflict.
Fox News alert. Iran launches fresh attacks towards Israel following fresh strikes reported in Tehran as Israel responds to deadly Iranian missile barrages that killed 11 and wounded hundreds. On the ground in Bat Yam is IDF soldier Eliada, who is currently helping with search and rescue missions. Hey, Eliada.
Hi, how are you? Good morning.
Good morning. So what are you seeing on the ground there?
Destruction, but spirit that's not broken. Unfortunately, right behind me, I don't know if you can see, if you're able to see.
Zoran is not a 12er Shia. He's an Ismaili Shia. I know he's a Shia. I didn't know what kind. I don't care anyway.
The damage that was here. There are a few people here who got killed just for being Jews, little kids. But the spirit of the Jewish people is never broken, and we get up and we continue.
Bro, that's crazy. Yeah, that's what it was. The ballistic missiles that they were lobbing into Tel Aviv, they were lobbing anti-Semitically. Like, you don't have to say that, man. You could just be like, there's a child that died. You know, that's pretty fucked up in and of itself. You could just leave it on that. You don't have to say intercontinental ballistic missiles are anti-Semitically being shot in our direction. It also is stupid because, like, everybody fucking knows. Everybody knows what's going on. Yeah, Iran has kidnapped an innocent civilian Israeli flying his fighter jet above Tehran just because he's Jewish. Actually, a female pilot. So they're not only anti-Semitic, but also misogynistic.
Are you finding survivors?
We're looking. We never stop. As we peel off different layers, there are moments where everyone goes quiet. It's very loud. You can imagine there's a lot of different, different types of machinery that's here and there.
I mean, low key, it's hard for me to look at this and be like, dude, I mean, this dude would be in fucking Gaza killing children, and now he's too busy fucking working in the rubble in Tel Aviv. You know? Like, it's good to put Israelis to busy work. Fuck it, dude. As you guys know, I am very vehemently anti-psytrance. Okay? I think it is perhaps the greatest cancer in the form of music that Israel has invented and popularized. But if it's going to stop them from killing children in Gaza, then fuck it. I'll listen to psytrance. Okay? There, I said it. I'll listen to it. I'll listen to every funky mushroom named Israeli DJ that I can find if it's going to create a robust Israeli economy that does not revolve around murdering children. Okay? That's it. Let 1,000 psytrance albums bloom.
And then we stop, and then it's like quiet, and then everyone yells, "Do you hear us? We're here for you. We're coming for you. Wait, hold on tight." And then we continue to work again. So like that, if there's someone that's still there, they'll be able to hear us and they'll be able to hold on tight. And that's the message that we really have to all the Jewish people and all the Israelis all over the world is hold on tight. We've been through this The Jewish nation has been through suffering and pain from our inception, but we're always here and we always continue. And with God Almighty's help, we'll continue.
Yeah, half of the people killed by Iranian strikes are Palestinian citizens of Israel. They always suffer the most when Israel is struck because they have less protection. When this guy says they're just getting killed just because they're Jewish, he's lying. Yeah, that's the other side of it as well. There is a major gap in air defenses, suspiciously, in all of the Arab areas, in all of the Palestinian citizens of Israel areas, weirdly enough. But that's also double propaganda because they love fucking using that. They love using dead Palestinian citizens of Israel as a way to be like, see, Hamas, they killed their own.
You've got soldiers there, you've got rescuers there.
Yeah,
and
there's almost no shelters in Arab areas too, yeah.
You've got civilians there. What can you tell us about the...
Hasan, Israel did not invent Psytrance as a style from India. Dude, please inform yourself better. Okay, much like other symbols that may or may not have been invented in India and the broader Asian continent, when Nazis take a hold of it and make it their own, you just got to pack it up. Nobody uses the swastika anymore, and now Psytrance is Israeli, okay? That's it. Sorry. I wouldn't be running around saying, nah, we actually invented that shit if I were you.
Mood of people generally as you all are going through this?
The mood is very sad. There are people here who lost their life, little kids who in the middle of the night where their life was taken away from them.
Yeah, he's like, I only like that when I'm doing that in Gaza. It's just, you know.
At the same time, the will and the spirit, you can knock down our buildings, but you cannot destroy the spirit of the Jewish nation. And we want to thank America and our American friends for all the help and the support that they've given us up until now. We feel the love. You know, Fox News is an amazing program, and we have a lot of gratitude to all of you.
Eliada, God bless. Stay safe.
Thank you so much. Be well, and remember, this is a fight of good against bad. And you got
shut the fuck up. I mean, maybe. Maybe. Iran's armed forces tell Israelis not to stay or travel near vital areas. Wait, they gave forewarning? Oh my God. Wait, hold on. Is Iran now officially the most moral nation on the planet? They've been telling Israelis not to go to the areas that they're targeting? Wait, I thought it was good then. Oh, I didn't realize. I did not realize at all that they were doing the most moral nations the same tactics of the most moral nation on the planet.
The following warnings are for the people of Israel for the coming days. You should leave Israel. In the future, it will become inhabitable for you. In the past few nights, we bombed sensitive sites in Israel, and we possess a complete database of all vital sites there. We have a comprehensive target bank, and the Israelis must not allow themselves to be used as human shields. Avoid being near sensitive military sites, and know that your underground shelters will not be a source of protection for you.
Tahir, we've got that warning from Iran towards Israelis. Israel's also issued evacuation orders, hasn't it, for people in Iran, saying anyone living near weapons factories should evacuate. Is it clear to people in Iran who lives near weapons factories?
Well, it's not just clear for the people who live near such places, but for all people, for all Iranians, specifically.
Yeah, I thought it was okay when if the military of a foreign adversary tells you ahead of time that they're gonna blow up your house. I thought that then it was like the coolest thing ever. Like it was, you should welcome that. You know, I'm just so confused as to why Israelis have been complaining. Very strange state of affairs here, because they've been telling me for months that this is morality. This is absolute morality. This is the peak. Okay. Zviki Tesler, spokesman for the IDF Homefront Command, stated earlier tonight will likely need to stay near a shelter for a long time. I recommend sleeping inside if possible. I love Tesla. IDF analysis, 10% of Iranian missiles fired so far targeted residential areas. 90% were aimed at military and other sites via N12 News. About 30 Iranian missiles fired in the last barrage, N12 News reports. Iran is clearly not able to fire very large barrages or is seriously economizing its arsenal. I love Tesla. Everything's computer. I love Tesla.
Those who are living in the capital here in Tehran, because of the fact that people are now pretty much aware of the fact that the target.
When do you think images of military target damage will come out? What you have seen so far will probably be the extent of it. Israel has a deep censorship regime. They've always had it. They have a military censor for even what comes out of like mainstream outlets there. There are certain things that they'll let slide. But when it comes to successful targets that were struck, they literally will, they won't. Yeah. The only ones you'll see is if it's visible by satellite, but I don't even think that they're, I remember reading something, I don't know if it was real or not, but I remember reading something about like how even satellite imagery is like not allowed.
Targets being hit across the country are not necessarily military. As I told you earlier, they're not necessarily nuclear, because we saw Israeli strikes targeting very residential buildings. One instance that I have referred for several times is related to the university professor's building, somewhere that I was 2 days ago to cover the story, and there I was personally witnessing that Israelis targeted one of the buildings that belonged to the university professors, where the Iranian top nuclear scientist, Dr. Tehranchi, was assassinated alongside with his wife and alongside with couple of people, couple of ordinary citizens who were living in those buildings. Again, other footages are
incorrect. I'm on geospatial intelligence is allowed for certain people in the sector. All right, big dog, leak the fucking footage then. Why are you flexing in here? He's like, I get to see all of the fucking. He's like, I get to see all the fucking blown up Israeli planes and shit. You don't. Okay, why are you flexing? Leak it. I didn't. Did I say I didn't use anything gendered? I said big dog. Sorry. She. Leak it. Leak it, milady. I want to see it. How come you're the only one that gets to see it? I want to see it.
coming out showing that in one case, more than 20 children were killed, and they have got nothing to do with the nuclear program. They've got nothing to do with the military program. And now, among the people, there is this understanding that this is a real act of war. This is a real act of violation from the Israeli side, and they are getting prepared for wide spectrum of scenarios. We can see obviously a sense of anxiety, a sense of fear. Their country used to be under the shadow of the war, considering the constant threats directed by the Israelis over the past few weeks about the possibility of attacks. Right now, these threats are getting translated into real war. And also, we've got this sentiment of anger among the people. And I have spoken to many in this regard, and they're saying they've got nothing to do with politics and nuclear program and military issues, but still, they're seeing their lives affected, specifically seeing that energy infrastructures of the country were partially attacked. Today, earlier in the morning, we saw attacks on the two of the, let's say, fuel depots of the country, one just behind me in the southern parts of Tehran, and the smoke, the heavy, thick smoke is...
Israel and Iran have both been preparing for this confrontation.
Let's watch their
for
arsenal
decades.
comparison. I'm going to move on to the Minnesota shooter in a little bit. There's a couple more lines I want to talk about
How do they
here.
stack up? Well, on paper, Iran far outnumbers Israel in terms of active and reserve personnel. Iran is a much bigger country than Israel, 86 million people to Israel's 10 million people. So the Iranians have got 960,000 personnel. Israel have got 634,000. But this war, of course, won't be about who has the more manpower. It's really about who has the best technology, particularly in the air war. And on that score, there is a clear and obvious winner. So let's look at the attack capabilities. Now, first, Israel's weapon of choice.
Chatters is like surprising. It's surprising seeing so many news outlets and their comment section on YouTube be like so not pro-Israel and anti-Israel, as a matter of fact. Anti-war, anti-Israel is like shocking.
Choice. Of course, there are its fighter jets, the F-15, the F-16, and the F-35. Very stealthy. The F-35 can get through radar defenses undetected. Very, very useful weapon system for the Israelis to operate. The Iranians, they operate much older Russian jets, and they've lost some of them. They don't work as well. And so instead, they've built up a huge stockpile of missiles and drones. And they include the Shahed 136 that we've seen much of in Ukraine, the Imad, the Khorram Shah, big missile, but this one, the Fatah. There's a whole family of Fatah missiles. They work. The most modern versions of them are thought to be hypersonic, which are really very difficult to defend against. In total, it's estimated that the Iranians may have 3,000 of these ballistic missiles. Most estimates would say it's probably nearer 2,000, but undoubtedly they have a lot of them, and they could keep throwing them at Israel over the coming days and weeks if they chose to do that. And Israel claims that Iran was building up the capacity to manufacture 300 ballistic missiles a month. And that, with their ranges, would put Israel and hundreds of US bases in the crosshairs around the region. So if you look at a range map, undoubtedly, the Iranians have a big capacity building in terms of...
Yeah, bro, what are they... Like, look at this. It's just Eastern Europe. Like, that's the maximum area of impact is Eastern Europe. That's why it's so funny when, like, Israel's like, they are coming after you. They will bomb the UK.
Of their ballistic missiles and their drones. Now, over the years, Israel has the most advanced defense system in the world, and it's built it up. And it's getting support from United States assets in the region. And that system, most people call it the Iron Dome, but Iron Dome is only one type of missile. So there's the Iron Dome missile itself, there's David's Sling, which is a high-altitude, short-range, very fast missile, and there's the Arrow 3. Probably the best of the whole bit is the Arrow 3. That probably works the best of all. But between them, as well as with some Patriot missiles, they create this sense of a dome, a multi-layered dome that sits on top of their population centers that can cover the whole country, because it's a small country, and give them close to 100% protection. But of course, no system will ever give you 100% protection. Now, you can see here, action over Tel Aviv. A few missiles did get through, but the vast majority were intercepted. But no system is ever 100%, because any system can be overwhelmed with sheer numbers. And in that respect, we know that Iran does have the numbers. But in contrast, Iran's air defense...
Wait, no, they did say that, though. No, I know. ZP Hotavelli says Iran's long-range ballistic missiles can reach London. That's not true. They do not have this capability. They're just lying. And the reason why they're lying like this is because they want to make it seem like their fucking idiotic act of conquest against Iran that is now actually leading to retaliation for the first time ever for Israel is something that everyone else should be on board with, and everyone should be invested in Israel's defense. Interesting analysis from the state of play from an Israeli source. Iran has not yet launched its 1-ton, 1.5-ton missile, nor its cruise missiles. Only the U.S. has penetration bombs, and without them, it is not possible to destroy nuclear facilities. On the power limitations, the prices that are expected, and the following steps. Last night, after discussion, it was allowed to publish. Israel does not have the ability to destroy Iran's nuclear facilities. We knew that already. The political echelon knew this and set out with a reasonable concept, but one that public must be aware of a complex that includes attacking nuclear facilities, dismantling Iranian anti-aircraft defenses in a way that allows Israeli fighter jets to circle over Tehran as if they were over Jabalia, reducing the ballistic missile threat, eliminating the Iranian security elite, and a credible threat to behead the heads of government and the Ayatollahs, along with possible damage to national infrastructure such as oil reserves, may be enough. Why is it enough? Bring Iran back to the negotiation from a position of weakness that will force it to sign an agreement without expiration dates and with teeth, and if not, then at least postpone the nuclear project for a few years. I don't think the nuclear project is a real fear. I think that's totally fucking the seasoning. That's just Israel looking for a cause for why it's doing this. I think they just want to fucking eliminate Iranian leadership and cause Iran to be destabilized, and then plant a puppet in charge. That's just their excuse. Because obviously, what is this? 14, we're coming for you. I did text you. What do we call this? Risk it all? Is more like is up to her. He's just like my mom, can't embrace it. What? You okay, man? You can ban don't care. I mean, I care enough to... I was your driver? I heard your signal. What the fuck is this guy saying? Bro, calm down. Take your medication, chatter. I'm political? No, you're insane. Anyway. Yeah, I don't think they're okay. All right, let's finish.
They're older, they're weaker, and they've been badly hurt by Israel already. Now, the IDF have actually looked at some of these systems. The S-300, an old Russian system, doesn't work that well these days, if you know where it is. The Korad 15 and the Tactical Hunter. They're okay, but they're quite old. And the IDF has released these images of them attacking Iranian surface-to-air missiles near Tehran. And there they are. If they can spot them, they can destroy them. They've got enough intelligence to know where they are, even those which are mobile, like the S-300. Once they've spotted them, then effectively they're dead if the Israelis decide to go for them. Finally, Israel has the one thing that they don't want Iran to have, nuclear weapons. The Jericho 2...
I never thought in my life that we'd be talking openly about Israel having nuclear weapons either. That's like also a new revelation. I mean, it's not a new revelation at all. Everybody knew it, but like it was, Israel's never admitted to having nukes. It's kind of like the Nakba. Israel claims it didn't happen, but then also will sometimes be like, it should happen more frequently. And that's how that's the nuke situation as well, where they're like, oh, we don't have them, but also we do. And you should fucking, you know, you should be careful. What? The Dem nominee in 2028 is more likely to be Hassan Piker than Josh Shapiro. What? 4.6 million people estimated for the No Kings protest. That's 2% of the entire U.S. population. Voters in the 2020 primary just wanted to beat Trump. Trump probably won't be on the ballot in 2028, so all voters want is rage. Of course, if Dem voters had a moderate coded candidate who despised Trump and talked shit about his voters and policies all the time, they would love that, i.e. Gavin Newsom, but moderates seem to be pulling the hate the sinner, not the sin game that won't work. I don't know how you see 6 million libs waving American flags and think what the Democratic voters crave is someone who deeply hates America. I don't actually think Hasan Piker will be the Dem nominee. My point is about Dem sentiment. Dems are angry and no one is satiating that anger. It's what 2016 years as to the GOP before Trump. Did people think you're actually saying Hasan will be the Dem nominee? As soon as Hasan gets on the debate stage, he would crumble. He needs his lefty safe space in order to thrive. What is happening? Hasan is your guy if your only issue is Palestine. Otherwise, nah. What the fuck? You should take this as a challenge. I'm never running. That's crazy. And also, I would not win. You think liberals would ever be fucking on board with a guy like me? Are you crazy? I want to push. I want to push more appropriate candidates that speak the media language, that have the background. Nah, bro, we need you as our commentator. Please think of people outside of America. No, I would never be able to win a fucking serious political campaign as me, as myself. Y'all are insane. Anyway. Oh, I'm tired of covering this shit. Here, let's watch something funny for a moment.
Also, like, I don't understand the relationship between America and Israel. It's like it's the most effed up situation ever. We're like the world's most pathetic sugar daddy. We give them billions of dollars and they shit on us. Like Mr. Jonathan said, now we're ganging on them. We're not helpful. Dude, we gave you $30 billion to bomb children and it's not enough for you. Like, I mean, at least when you pay a dominatrix, you know that you're getting fucked. But this is just America having a public humiliation king while getting fucked, and they call this foreign policy. They are arresting American students on American soils for protesting Israeli war crimes. What the hell, man? This is like your crack whore making you beat your children for calling her what she is, a whore. This is what really boggles me in America. The right and the left, they fight each other tooth and nail over gun control, education, minorities' rights, healthcare, DEI. But when it comes to Israel, everybody competes to be Israel's favorite bitch. Republicans hate handouts unless it's for Israel. And Democrats, they love human rights unless it's for the Palestinians. I mean, this is a Delulu state. You guys are Delulu. You are Delulu. Like, I came here today to witness for myself
Delulu.
how someone can lie so shamelessly. The guy is like a human pinball machine. Every question lies on him, ends on Hamas. It's like a magic 8-ball with one answer. Hamas. Yani, at least flat earthers, they make things interesting. You guys are boring. You are like the same thing. I left all of this. I left the media because of this. I come back. It's a freaking Groundhog Day. Every day, the same question, the same thing. Dude, nobody believes you. You are liars.
Okay.
Nobody believes you.
Okay, let me...
This is anti-Semitism. You have put me in front of an Arab. Everyone knows Arabs are not to be trusted and they controlled the media. Israeli landing in France only to get booed. Wait, what? Why are you repping the flag, dude? Oh, this is from when Rima arrived. This is the people were waiting for Rima Hasan to arrive in France. Yeah, this is a flight from Tel Aviv to Charles de Gaulle. The flight that also had Rima Hasan, so people were waiting for her to come out. Wait, she was harassing Rima on the plane, apparently? Jesus Christ. Leaving Tel Aviv and thinking you can be as unhinged as you are in Tel Aviv, you just described like Israeli tourism. How many fucking images have we seen in Japan of Israeli tourists yelling at Japanese pro-Palestine protesters and like spitting on them and shit and be like, no politic here. Yeah, it's like Americans getting off the plane and going, we love Trump. Yeah, flying off to Denmark to tell them what's what. Yeah, this is really funny. For a mayor considering running on a ballot line devoted to ending anti-Semitism, whose only hope in the general may be seen as the stalwart on this issue, this is a very strange choice. He literally was smoking cigars with a dude who denies the Holocaust. I saw this. I didn't even want to cover it. But like, what an insane moment in American politics. Yeah, his independent run for the general is the combating anti-Semitism ticket. This isn't fake. No, he was chiefing cigars with Sneeko. The funniest Hosmer initiative has to be when all of them parroted the Qatar controls the media. Like, they really just internalized all the anti-Semitism from people saying Jews control the media and just did a know you. I mean, they do that with Iran and Hamas, which is even funnier than Qatar. Because, like, Adam's handlers are dumb, super dumb. Turkey sends money. Ay, ay, ay. How are all the grifters so clicked up? I mean, Eric Adams doing a Sneeko stream is expected. Let's be real.